We got some big news stories, some developing situations that will impact the price of gold and silver, will impact the markets. We need to talk about them. Let's get down to the basement right now. These stories will impact gold, will impact silver. You know, the Federal Reserve keeps standing on this footing, this foundation, that the data looks good in the economy. That's what they're using as their basis for hawkish monetary policy, which is killing the price of gold and silver and the overall markets. But is the Fed right? Is it really all that rosy out there? Let's take a look at these very interesting developments, most of them just in the last 24 hours, and let's see if maybe the Fed is wrong. We're going to look at those stories right now. Let's go. But hey, let's forget about all that and go to Disney World, because right now is a great time to go to Disney World. There was a report out yesterday that the park was as empty as it's been in years. I saw several pictures of Cinderella's castle with hardly anybody in the lobby. Hey, if things are so great in the economy, why are people foregoing their trips to Disney World? Possibly because everyone's at work. The Bureau of Labor and Statistics put out their monthly jobs report this morning, and the economy supposedly added 300,000 jobs, right at expectations. However, the unemployment rate did tick up a bit. So maybe now that everybody's back at work, they don't have time to go to Disney World. Or maybe people aren't at Disney World because they can't afford it and they have to take second and third jobs, which makes the jobs number look good, just so they can put food in their tummies and fuel in their car. Well, if we aren't going to Disney World, why don't we hop on over to Europe, where we heard yesterday that the EU has declared an energy emergency crisis. Yes, things have gone from bad to worst in Europe. People have taken to posting pictures of their electric bills, their energy bills, showing 200, 300, 400% increases in their energy bills. German inflation is off the hooks. Things do not look good in Europe, and now the European Central Bank is talking about raising their interest rates by 0.75%. That's not going to have any impact on their inflation. It will only further decline economic activity in the Eurozone. Things do not look good in Europe either. If you're not going to go to Disney World, or Europe for that matter, you might as well come back here and join me in Ron's Basement. You are always welcome here. You are important. Your time is important. I honor the fact that you, right now, from wherever you are in the world, have decided to join me here in the basement. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe to my channel, give the video a thumbs up, turn on the bell notifications, leave a comment below so that we can get to know you and learn from you. And you can share this video with anyone you like. And what about our good friends at Goldman Sachs? You know what they said? They said expect 22% inflation next year in the United Kingdom. 22, not 21, 22%. That pushes me over the edge. My friends in London, I apologize for what you are dealing with. This is getting out of hand and it does not look pretty. And just when we thought they couldn't come up with more stupid terms to describe what's really going on in the world right now, a recession or maybe even a mild depression, they've come up with a new way to describe the situation. It's called a growth recession. There was an article by Bloomberg yesterday. I'm like, what the heck is a growth recession? Well, apparently that's not quite as bad as a regular recession, but it's a slowdown in growth, a growth recession, whatever. KPMG The prestigious consulting firm, their head economist said that what's going on right now is like enduring the slow water dripping torture. I think they used to call it Chinese water torture. And I would agree with her. And retailers continue to struggle. Even the bottom rung of the bottom rung. The dollar store is reporting problems, or should we call it the $1.50 store? And Bed Bath & Beyond will soon be changing their name to Bed Bath & Basement because that's where they are headed. They announced layoffs and closing 150 stores. Welcome to the basement. And right now is probably not a good time for us to be thinking about buying or selling a house as the housing slump continues. I could go through a multitude of statistics showing you that housing is declining precipitously right now. Just one that we got last week, mortgage applications dropped by almost 4% for the week ending August 26th. That was an astounding number. In 1 week, mortgage applications went down by 4%. Doesn't it feel like something fishy is going on with the car dealerships? As I drive around, as I get reports from people around the country, everyone is saying the major car dealerships, their lots are empty, but there's also no customers. There's something very strange going on in the economy, and in particular with these car dealerships, I just don't get it. And on a bit more of a technical term, the US dollar continues on its tear higher, near historic highs. I've heard several other gurus say that if it continues even just like 10% higher, it could trigger economic catastrophe, especially in the developing world. We are exporting inflation to the rest of the world. What's going to happen when the US dollar goes down in value, right? We've had super high inflation as our dollars have become more powerful and made our imports cheaper. What happens when the dollar goes back down? If we still have even moderately high inflation, it could trigger another inflationary spiral. Of course, that would be good for our friends silver and gold. But did you forget? We don't have anything to worry about. We're going to Disney World where there's no lines, no crowds, and we'll just have a great old time. Hey, I think when we look at all these factors, what's really going on the ground in the United States, in the world, it's not quite the rosy, supportive picture like the Federal Reserve and our government leaders are feeding us, from which they can institute these super tight monetary hawkish policies in their supposed fight on inflation. I don't think things are that good. And when it all starts to crumble a little bit more, they will be forced to print more money, go back to their dovish stance. Things will be good for gold and silver. Don't forget, they're over there in the corner, right? They've been ignored, but they're over there like they have been for thousands of years, holding their value, looking pretty. And when just a sliver of the rest of the investing population wises up to what we already know, it'll be like a flood of new money into what is now a very tiny sector. And we could see multiple gains in the price of the metals and the stocks. We'll just have to wait and see how it all plays out. One thing for sure, I'll be here for you through it all. If you want to watch another video, you can do that here. If you want to subscribe, you can do that here. Most importantly, until next time, you be well.